Hello all. In this video we'll see the introduction part of the backtracking. Firstly, in the many applications of the backtracking, the desired solution is expressible as an n-tuple. The solutions of the backtracking are represented as an n-tuple such as x1, x2, x3 and so on xn, where this each xi for all xi belongs to a given set S. We'll take a values from the set S and we use those values to represent the solution for any problem that we solve in the backtracking. For example, you consider the problem of sorting the array, sorting a given array, an example array, and we'll see how to represent the solution for the sorting using backtracking, right? This is an array with indices 0, 1, 2 and 3 with elements, array elements 3, 1 and 9, 2. In general, what is the solution of this array? What is the sorted order of this array? 1, 2, 3, 9. 1, 2, 3 and 9 are the sorted positions. And given, how do we represent this solution using this n-tuple form? For example, the set S here is 0, 1, 2 and 3. In order to represent the solution, we should only choose the all x's only from this set and we represent the sorted position of this array using n-tuple solution. What is the n-tuple solution? For example, the first element should be 1 in the sorted array. It is at index 1, therefore 1. Second sorted element is 2. It is at index 3, therefore 3. Third sorted position is element number 3, which is at index 0. Finally, last element is 9, which is at index 2. We represented the solution for this sorting as an n-tuple solution, and each xi belongs to this set S. Here each xi represents, what does each xi represents? Index of the element. Each xi represents the index of element. Here 3 in the solution vector represents element at index 3. Therefore, what is the solution? 1 means index 1, which is element number 1. 3 means index 3, 2. 0 means index 0, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 9 is the solution vector, solution, which is the answer. We represent this answer in the form of the solution vector, which represents the indices of the each and every element. In this way, we represent the solutions of the backtracking. In general, every solution that we solve in the backtracking can be solved using the brute force method of technique also. What is a brute force method of technique? First of all, we represent the solution in the form of n-tuple. Here n is 4, right? And we are given a set of 4 elements, and one of the combination of those arrangements is the answer, right? How many such arrangements are possible? It means brute force method of approach, blind approach. We are not using any constraints and any conditions to solve this problem. What is the constraint we have used here? Here a of xi should be less than or equal to a of xi plus 1. It means here xi 1, index 1, what is a of xi? 1. 1 is less than or equal to a of xi plus 1. What is xi plus 1? 3. Index 3, a of xi plus 1, 2. It is correct. That is the reason it is allowed. The constraint we used here is a of xi should be less than or equal to a of xi plus 1 for all I greater than 0 and less than n, right? Greater than or equal to 0. Starting from a of 0 position, we should check it like that, right? Okay. But when coming to the brute force method of solving the given problem, we don't use any constraints and any algorithm is not used. The approach is blind for all the problems. For this problem, we need to place these 4 values in 4 different positions. For doing that, 4 elements can be placed in 4 different places. How many possibilities are there? In 4 factorial ways, we can arrange these 4 elements in 4 different ways. Out of those 4 factorial arrangements, only one of the arrangement is the solution. That is, this arrangement is the solution. For example, if we solve this using brute force method of technique, the first arrangement may be 0 1 2 3, second arrangement may be 0 1 3 2, third arrangement may be 0 2 1 3, and so on. We keep on generate all the solution vectors that are possible. After generation of one solution vector, we check whether it is in the sorted order or not. After generation of the second solution vector, we check it is in the sorted order or not. We keep on doing it. If we do it, what is the time complexity? It is n factorial. For a given of n numbers, we should generate n factorial different combinations, and we should check after generating each and every solution. It is very much time taking, right? For example, if we have 100 elements to be sorted, the time complexity will be 100 factorial. It may run on a mission for hours together to solve the problem, right? That is the reason the backtracking approach, how the backtracking approach works is, the backtracking approach is to build up the solution vector one component at a time, and we use the constraints in order not to generate all the components all the time. For example, the constraint here we used is a of xi less than or equal to a of xi plus 1. If at all, the backtracking algorithm has tried to generate the solution vector like this. First, it has generated the index number 3. Okay. Next, it has generated index number 2. Now, a of 3 is less than or equal to a of 2. What is it? A of 3, 2. Is 2 less than 9? Yeah, it is correct. Next, for example, if it is generated index number 1, next, is a of 2 less than a of 1? Is 9 less than 1? No, the constraint failed. Therefore, our algorithm stops here. Our backtracking algorithm stops here, and it won't generate the tree further. That is the reason by using the backtracking, we can save lot of time. We work in similar to the brute force approach. We'll try to generate all the possible arrangements of this solution of this given n, but in the backtracking we use some bounding conditions in order not to generate all these combinations. We try to generate each and every combination, but at any time, if the bounding conditions got failed, we won't generate it further. In that way, we can save a lot of time. Once we look into the first example, you will get more clarity on this concept, right? Yeah, it's nothing. The idea is if at all we knew the partial vector generated can no way lead to an optimal solution, therefore the remaining vectors can be ignored entirely. It means we need to, if at all we are supposed to generate some 7 tuple solution, we have generated the vector partially, for example 4 3 and 2. At this position, if we found the partial vector generated can no way lead to the solution vector, therefore we won't generate these remaining vectors, and we'll try generating some other vectors. That is the reason we save a lot of time, right? Okay. Also, in the many problems we solve using backtracking, the solutions must satisfy a set of constraints. The solution of the backtracking must satisfy a set of constraints like explicit and implicit constraints. What is meant by an explicit constraint? It is simple. It is already explained above only. The explicit constraints for backtracking is all the x's you use to represent the solution must belong to a set S. For example, if the set S is a set of all non-negative numbers. If the set S is a set of all non-negative numbers, what is the possible value for xi? Xi may be 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. That is an explicit constraint. Explicit constraints tells us what should be the xi values, right? And what is implicit constraint? Implicit constraints tells us the relationship between each xi. For example, x1, x2, x3 and x4. N-tuple solution is used to represent the above problem, right? Above sorting problem. What is the implicit constraint for that problem? Tells us the relationship between each xi. The relationship between each xi for the above sorting problem is a of xi should be less than or equal to a of xi plus 1. That is one possible implicit constraint, right? Yeah, that's all for the introduction part. You understood what is meant by explicit constraint, what is meant by implicit constraint, and you also knew what is the advantage of using backtracking rather than brute force method of approach. Here in the brute force method of approach, it generates all the possible combinations completely and it verifies with each and every possible combination. But in the case of brute force, while trying to generate a combination, it won't generate entirely. Once a bounding condition got failed, it won't generate the remaining vector components. In that way we save a lot of time, and also we represent the backtracking solution in the form of n-tuple, right? Yeah, now we'll move on to the first problem, which is n-queens problem.